What if I told you that a quiet northern nation, famous for maple syrup and polite people, holds a golden secret that influences wealth across the planet? Sounds surprising, right? Welcome to the untold story of Canada's hidden power in the global gold supply chain. This isn't just about mines and metal, it's about influence, strategy, and why countries around the world quietly watch what Canada does with its gold. Before we dig into this glittering mystery, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now back to it. Canada doesn't usually make headlines for gold, but it absolutely should. Here's the thing. Canada isn't just one of the top 5 gold producers on Earth. It's a mining superpower. Its mining industry isn't just large, it's globally dominant, not just in volume but in its sophisticated approach. From the vast mineral-rich expanse of Ontario, particularly the historic Timmins and Kirkland Lake camps, to the rugged resource-laden lands of Quebec, through the mountainous riches of British Columbia, and even extending into the challenging remote territories of Nunavut and the Yukon, Canadian operations pull tons of gold from deep within the earth every single year. We're talking about massive world-class mines that operate on scales almost unimaginable, utilizing cutting-edge technology to extract this precious metal. But digging up the gold is just one part of the story. The real influence, the true Canadian magic, starts after that gold is brought to the surface. This is where it gets really interesting. Toronto, not London or New York, is considered the undisputed global capital of mining finance. Think about that for a second. This Canadian city is where the deals are made, the capital is raised, and the strategic decisions for gold operations across the planet are often hatched. Canadian banks, a vast network of highly specialized investors, and a deep bench of expert companies are the financial brains behind gold operations not just within Canada's borders, but truly around the world. From the major new finds in Africa to the intricate projects spanning South America and even parts of Asia, Canadian firms play a paramount role in funding, managing, and often owning significant stakes in these gold ventures. Why Toronto? It's largely thanks to the Toronto Stock Exchange, TSX, and especially the TSX Venture Exchange, TSXV. These exchanges have cultivated an unparalleled ecosystem for mining companies, particularly for junior miners. Those smaller, agile firms focused on exploration and early-stage development. They can raise capital in Toronto in a way they simply can't in other global markets. This creates a vibrant hub of expertise, drawing in top geologists, engineers, legal experts, and financial analysts who specialize only in mining. It's this concentrated knowledge and capital that allows Canadian firms to export their expertise, making them essential partners for gold projects worldwide. Companies like Barrick Gold, a true titan in the industry, or Agnico Eagle Mines are just 2 examples of Canadian giants that have leveraged this financial powerhouse to become global leaders. So, how did this all happen? How did Canada become such a quiet powerhouse? To understand Canada's golden rise, we have to go back in time to the raw, untamed frontier of the 1800s. This was an era defined by gold rushes where frantic prospectors flooded regions like the legendary Klondike in the Yukon. Imagine thousands of men and women braving brutal conditions, frozen rivers and treacherous mountains, all driven by the dream of striking it rich. The images of those stampedes, the harsh winters, and the sheer human will involved are truly iconic. But unlike many other nations that saw chaotic boom and bust cycles during their gold rushes, Canada took a remarkably stable and strategic approach. The Canadian government, even in its early days, built a robust, clear, and fair system to manage mining. This included transparent property rights, consistent laws, and investor-friendly regulations that made Canada a magnet for mining money. This wasn't just about controlling the chaos. It was about fostering long-term growth. Over time, Canadian companies didn't just become experts at finding gold. They became masters at the entire mining life cycle, from exploration and development to operations and reclamation. And critically, they began exporting that expertise, making Canada the de facto global leader in mining best practices. But gold isn't just about shiny coins or impressive production figures. It's deeply, intricately tied to the pulsating heart of global finance. Central banks around the world hold vast quantities of gold as reserves, seeing it as a bedrock of stability for their national economies. Investors, from hedge funds to individual savers, buy it during periods of uncertainty, viewing it as a safe haven asset, a reliable store of value when stocks tumble or currencies fluctuate. And in times of severe crisis, when trust in traditional financial systems wavers, gold becomes indispensable. This is where Canada's influence gets really interesting and truly global. The country isn't merely digging and selling gold. Through its sophisticated financial markets, its dominant mining companies, and its influence on global standards, Canada is quietly helping to set the rules of the game for how gold flows through the world. Through platforms like the Toronto Stock Exchange, gold ETFs, exchange-traded funds, and its progressive investment policies, Canada subtly shapes the global gold market. When you see gold prices move or hear about central banks buying or selling, know that Canada's fingerprints are likely on that transaction somewhere. Now, let's talk about something increasingly vital: ethics in mining. Canadian gold operations have often been praised for setting higher environmental, social, and labor standards compared to many other nations. They've been pioneers in areas like environmental impact assessments, community engagement, and worker safety. You'll often find Canadian companies leading the way in developing and implementing responsible mining initiatives like the Towards Sustainable Mining, or TSM program, which sets rigorous performance standards. However, it's not always perfect. In some overseas projects, Canadian firms have faced criticism, sometimes significant, over issues like land use disputes, the impact on local indigenous communities, or environmental concerns. It's a complex global industry, and challenges inevitably arise. But it's crucial to note that compared to many nations where mining practices can be opaque or harmful, Canada's gold sector generally leads in transparency, corporate governance, and stringent regulation. This commitment to higher standards gives Canadian gold a certain credibility, a social license to operate that's becoming increasingly valuable in the global marketplace. Canada's role doesn't stop at gold mining or finance. The country is also a critical refining and transportation hub for gold. Some of the largest and most reputable gold refiners in the world are based right here in Canada, taking raw gold from mines not just in Canada but from around the globe and transforming it into the purest investment-grade bullion. And when we talk about pure investment-grade gold, we must mention the Royal Canadian Mint. This isn't just a national treasure, it's a global powerhouse. The Mint is renowned for producing some of the world's most sought-after gold bullion products, most notably the gold maple leaf coin, famous for its exceptional purity, often reaching 99.99% or even 99.999% fine gold. This bullion then gets securely shipped to central banks, private vaults, and major investors across the world. It's not dramatic, it's not flashy, but this quiet, efficient logistical network is absolutely essential. Without Canada, with its reliable refineries and secure transportation routes, the global gold engine would quite simply sputter. Now zoom out and consider the future. With gold prices consistently rising amid global uncertainties and nations increasingly racing to secure their gold assets, Canada's position only becomes more important, more central. As digital currencies and new financial technologies emerge, some might speculate that gold's ancient role could fade. But history consistently tells a different story. Every time things get shaky, every time global stability is tested, gold rises. It has proven its resilience as a timeless store of value for millennia. And as gold rises, so too does Canada's quiet yet profound influence. So next time you hear about gold prices, or perhaps even hold a gold coin in your hand, remember this: Canada may not shout about it from the rooftops, but it quietly controls more of that glittering story than most people realize. It's not just about mining. It's about strategic financial power. It's about a rich history. And it's a quiet kind of power that truly shapes our world in ways you might never have imagined. If you found this story as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button. Drop a comment below on what surprised you the most. Share it with a friend who loves hidden insights. And subscribe for more fascinating breakdowns just like this. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.